Today we head to Europe and travel to the heart of fashion, design and style, the city of Milan in Italy, to meet Nancy Fina. Nancy is an international fashion photographer and was one of the first female photographers in what was traditionally a male domain. Based in Milan, Nancy travels extensively to work with her fashion and advertising clients. We started by asking Nancy to describe her work.
I'm a photographer, but what is involved in making a picture for me is from the beginning to the end. I do the casting, I find the locations, lots of times I get to think of the idea, which is the fun part. I have to make every little piece work, how they're dressed, how the makeup is, where we're gonna be, if we're going in the desert, find the camel, find the plane tickets, organize everything. So some photographers do that and some don't do that, but I think it's fun to produce it, to organize it, to follow the retouching, to take my job from A to Z. That's the fun part. I have a degree in political science. I went to Washington, D.C. because my dad wanted me to be the first female president. And I figured out that wasn't right for me. And by pure accident, I just decided to go to art school, and I was bad at art. So I kind of fell into the photo section, and I took rock and tree pictures, bad ones. And the last day of university, a girl said to me, "Will you take my picture? I want to be a model." And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that." And she said, "Please, please, 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 I have no money, please, 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 please." So I did it, and I gave her the pictures, but I never looked in a fashion magazine. I had no idea. And the next day I was lying around in bed, when you're 21, and phone rang, and the lady said, "Darling, I've discovered you." And so that's how I started, by pure accident. I studied, still life, rocks and trees, nature photography, little portrait photography, but I didn't study fashion. I had no idea. The best bits is that every job is a whole new adventure. Maybe you do something in sports clothing, I have to learn all about the sports. Traveling, meeting all kinds of different people. Every single job is solving a whole new set of different problems. And so I think variety is the spice of life. So a little bit, different things, it's fun to do it. And a little creative twinge every now and then. And working with fun people, which is not always the case, but we try to make it be like that. Okay, it's very, very, very hard and very competitive now, as are all jobs, I think. You have to really love it because you have to work all the time. If you're already rich, it would be better because then you don't have to compromise on creating your image, because the hardest part is being creative and wanting to create an image and finding people who pay for it. And sometimes it's an oxymoron, because when you start off, they want very mediocre, very boring images, and then if you make them, then you're stuck in a rut of doing something bad. So it's very hard to fight for a nice creativity and be at the top of the pay scale at the same time when you're starting. So that's the hardest thing. That was, I think that the people who have a really clear-cut dream of what they want in life are the lucky ones, right? And then they have to follow it. But there's a great majority of people who don't have a fabulous dream, so they're like feathers in the wind. But I'm convinced you have to do what you like and what you love. You'll be better at it than someone else. You'll have more fun, and since you have to work 10 hours a day, it's better to do something you like than something you don't like. Traveling for my work can be enjoyable, and it can be very stressful. Because let's say a client sends you, a week across to the other side of the world. You are responsible for everything. And maybe that client spent, $100,000 between models, airfares. And now that I work in digital, that you can take the picture and you can see right away, if you have it, believe me, it's better. Because I spent many times in my life not sleeping for an entire week thinking, oh my God, what if the pictures are black? What if it didn't turn out? What if something went wrong? What if there was a hole in the camera? What? You know, and you take the pictures on 5 different cameras, and you have 2 assistants with film spread on different parts of their bodies. You sell it with a courier. What if the plane goes down? I mean, there's so much stress involved in producing and giving the client that, and so many things can go wrong that it's kind of fun, but it's very stressful too, right? I've had a lot of advice, and most of it I didn't listen to when I should have, right? Probably my mother, just never give up.